Americans do not deserve to be governed by deeply weird, narcissistically woke people who hate George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, Dr. Zeus, and Mr. Potato Head, who hyperventilate on their yoga mats if you use the wrong pronoun, who think kids should be able to change their gender at recess, who carry around Ziploc bags of kale to give them energy, and who think they are better than us.
That was Louisiana Senator John Kennedy offering up the Republicans' declaration of a culture war. And it's no different the far right is ramping up fear on everything from critical race theory to transgender care. You see, the 2020 Republican presidential race has already begun. So you can expect a lot more of this.
In 2016, I declared, I am your voice. Today I add, I am your warrior, I am your justice, and for those who have been wronged and betrayed, I am your retribution. I am your retribution. Not going to let this happen.
That's, scary. Now, this may be the first time America has ever had a presidential frontrunner, and a former president at that, claiming his reason for running is retribution against another party. But with no record to run on, Republicans are going all out against the imagined enemy of wokeness. That would be funny if the right's war on social justice wasn't putting real lives at risk. The rhetoric coming from the Republican Party seems to get worse every single day. Take this little bit of hate from Daily Wire commentator Michael Knowles.
If it is false, then for the good of society, and especially for the good of the poor people who have fallen prey to this confusion, transgenderism must be eradicated from public life entirely. The whole preposterous ideology at every level.
Yeah, you heard that right. He said eradicate. The Republican war against transgender Americans has reached such a fever pitch that pundits get to spew hate like that from the GOP's largest stages. And as with all hate speech, it never stops with just rhetoric. Take Tennessee, which is the latest state to totally ban gender-affirming care for transgender kids. Not content to just terrorize children, Republican Governor Bill Lee also signed a law that all but bans drag shows as well. So much for the First Amendment, I guess. And Tennessee isn't alone. Mississippi recently banned transgender surgeries, hormone therapy, and puberty blockers for minors. Nearly a dozen states are debating or have passed laws that restrict medical access for transgender people. There's also political capital to be mined from the never-ending war on wokeness. At least, that's what Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is hoping. Here he is spending some quality time with Fox News ghoul Tucker Carlson. Take a look.
Well, people would say, how'd you do it in Florida? I mean, we've become the focus point of freedom in the United States, and even around the world, people look at Florida. You just had someone from Spain saying, a politician, she wants Spain to be the Florida of Europe. And I think what we do is we talk about the different fights that we've had, our approach to leadership. But at the end of the day, Tucker, you talk about it all the time on your show. Yes, we got to fight overweening government, very important, and we have a very vast administrative state that we battle with Biden, but you also have corporate America going woke, big tech censoring. So these are fights all across the scene.
Well, it's official. I'm going to start calling Spain the Florida of Europe. And while Ron DeSantis seems pretty happy about what he's done in Florida, I'm not quite sure the Sunshine State is a bastion of freedom. Just try signing up for an AP African American Studies class and see what happens. Republicans are fighting wokeness because, hey, it beats actually governing, and the MAGA base loves nothing more than a culture war. Well, except maybe an actual civil war, but they're working on that too. Because for some Republicans like Marjorie Taylor Greene, even the republic itself is too woke for real Americans.
So I simply propose that we need a national divorce where we can split into red states and blue states. And no, that doesn't mean a civil war. And that doesn't mean that you can't travel to different states and there would still be trade and commerce and so forth. But it's simply a divide because we're really sick and tired of fighting with each other. In blue states, well, you know what? If you have transition schools to change children's gender, that would be horrific, but that would happen in blue states. If they want to have Antifa burning down cities and they want to abolish the police in blue states, have at it.
And as it turns out, Marjorie has a really good reason to split the United States in two. She thinks Republicans deserve their own safe space where they can foster fascism without woke liberals calling them names. I'm not even kidding. Watch this.
But it's also regular people, maybe people that wear a MAGA hat, that have been attacked for years now. And we are fed up. We're fed up with Democrat policies. We're fed up with the woke ideology being shoved down our throat. And we're tired of our children being brainwashed into these same ideas. We want our own safe space, and we deserve it.
Republicans are sounding the alarm over what they claim is the woke takeover of our government. And man, it just makes you wish they got that upset when MAGA extremists actually try to take over our government. The GOP is overdosing on Donald Trump's MAGA cynicism, and they don't care if it leads to violence or even state-sponsored discrimination. The only thing standing between Republicans and the White House is a Democratic Party still searching for its voice on social issues. And speaking of upsetting things, Kenosha killer Kyle Rittenhouse is back on TV, and he's wondering if you can spare a few bucks. Check out this video to learn how crybaby Kyle got himself into this mess.